24 units, it's less than 2,500. This is something to consider.
Thank you, Mr. Gladstone.
Any other questions for the CAM?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my name is Joan Lawson, President Windsor K.
Hi, Mrs. Lawson. How are you?
Hi, fine. I've spoken to you several times about those bushes that are on the palm trees coming into Okeechobee that block our view when they're coming out
Yes.
on Evans Drive.
Indeed.
And you did say those bushes were going to be removed. But
They will be.
But I've seen they've just been cut down now.
Well, we still own them, so we're going to keep cutting them.
Oh.
But it is on our list, and this is something that we need to bring to the bid committee because we're going to be bidding that job out. It's kind of a big job, and I was hoping to wait till summer when things slow down a little bit. We've all had our hands full to some extent, but the bushes that you're describing are called jatropha, and they surround each of the royal palm trees on the main roads. We're going to take them out for two reasons. Number one is they're a constant problem with visibility,
Yes.
and I'm tired of trimming them. They're well past their prime. They want to become trees, and they're going to keep trying. The second thing is that I've been advised by two different arborists that those shrubs are competing with those royal palm trees for nutrients. So I'm going to take away that, and we're going to try to make it all 3 feet straight down. So that's a project we're going to work on over the summer. I promise you we won't forget.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Just want to thank you for the amazing job that you do and the officers as well for all you do for us. A quick question.
Sure.
Any update on what's happening with the defunct golf course?
I have no information on any transfer at the golf course. There was a meeting earlier, I believe last week, with the developer regarding drainage. Mr. Israel will probably give you more information on that. But there's no movement as far as who owns the golf course. It's still owned by Mr. Waldman.
This was an issue which some of you may remember. They have a
Hi.
problem. Their problem is drainage. And before that project will be greenlit finally, they have to have a drainage easement from Century Village. That is being handled by their attorney. By the way, the developer is D.R. Horton. Their attorney is Henry Handler, Esquire. And we are waiting for Mr. Handler to give us the language he would like us to sign. They're very concerned that we might cut off their drainage. There's huge drainage outflow. You may not be aware of it. There are two 50-inch culverts under the bridge leading into the Southampton area, which principally drain that golf course. And there are a lot of issues. There's a possibility that the developer may raise the grade of that village. We've heard as much as 36 inches. This could result in a flooding situation here. You know, this sounds like a lot of technical drivel, but it is non-trivial. We don't want to turn Century Village into a pond in order to meet the needs of Reflection Bay. That's the name of the development. So our attorney is working with Henry Handler, and we'll see if there's something we can actually sign. We haven't actually seen it yet. All right, any other questions for the CAM? Oh, yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
My name is Sue Marino. I just want to show the picture in front of my apartment. This, you mentioned the landscape. You may see this.
Where is this, dear?
It's 53 Dorchester. You can see that.
All right.
The tree. I kept it here. I called up.
Cam's on it.
Excuse me?
He's going to look into it.
Yeah, the picture is here. You can see that.
Okay.
They didn't do-
I'll come and see you later, ma'am,
Thank
and
you.
I'll get the particulars from you.
Thank
And
you.
it's very likely
Very
a
much.
property management problem, but I'll be happy to take
Right.
a look.
All right. Yes.
Concerning the iguanas
Oh,
on
boy.
the property, they're undermining the
Yep.
cable TV wiring.
Yes.
and the box itself is starting to shift. It's going to cut the wires, and they control the wires for the entire lake at Chatham.
Wow.
Okay,
They
I
all
have
tie
gotten
in there.
reports about, and it was Ruth actually brought this to my attention. I live in Chatham East, so we share ground. That the iguanas are starting to dig burrows, and I hadn't really thought about that infrastructure, but that's a problem. But the other thing that brought up was if they're burrowing into our shoreline, they could be causing damage that would be very expensive to replace. Here's the problem. Getting rid of iguanas on residential property is the association's responsibility. However, if you went and killed every iguana or trapped every iguana on your property,
They'll
what's
just come
stopping
back.
next doors from coming and to live at your house? This may turn into a community function, and that's something that the officers will need to discuss to bring the numbers down. What we want to try to find is if they're destroying the shoreline. The shoreline is the responsibility of WPRF. We paid for that shoreline restoration, so if there's damage, we want to jump on that. So that's something we're going to have to discuss in the future. All right. Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
One more comment on iguanas. Please, if your grandchildren visit here, to kids, these are like miniature dinosaurs. They are what's known in the law as an attractive nuisance. Their bite is very dirty and can cause a lot of damage. They have a tail like a bullwhip. Do not let the kids go pet the iguanas. They are not pet dogs, all right? And yes, we are working with WPRF to do something about the iguanas. I almost hate to say this, but in fact, these are not protected species. On your property, you can go out with a pellet gun and kill them. Now, what you're going to do with the dead iguana, I don't know. And I'm not recommending this, but I'm telling you the law allows you to do that. That's not what we're doing. WPRF has a regular ongoing trapping program where an iguana catcher comes and puts them in cages and takes them somewhere, Yorton, way out of the village. So we're well tuned into this iguana problem, and they can do a lot of damage. I have concern about them burrowing around their weir. They've been known to undermine dams. And what we just heard, undermining association wiring. So keep an eye out. Let us know if you are having an iguana problem.
David,
Oh,
I
go
also
ahead,
want to
Bob.
point out that every time that trapper takes it, it costs $50
Yes.
each. So, what would you rather do? Pay $50 or get a pellet gun and shoot him? I shoot him.
I think we're probably going to publish some article on iguanas, just for information purposes. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just one more, please. Donald, thank you very much for a host of different things in the village that you do for us. So I point out an item that I think goes back to the old communication set up before Atlantic Broadband. It is a tower. It is a mechanism that stands about this high. It's about maybe 6 by 6, and it is about 4 feet. And its location is, if you went to the intersection of South meeting West, got me so far? West, okay. And then on West, about an eighth of a mile up.
All right.
And over there, you have the parking area, you have the condos, you have the parking area, you have a strip of green, and then the pedestrian walk. This tower apparently has been hit by a car and leaning over into the pedestrian walk area. For those that
Know about
have used the
this?
pedestrian walk or a bicycle there, you'll know that it's leaning in dangerously, that one can be hit by that.
Right.
Am I clear enough?
Let me get the location correctly.
Yep.
You're talking about the pedestrian walkway near the intersection of South Drive and West Drive?
Okay, so the intersection of South and West,
All right.
okay, that's where our main gate is over there. And now going,
Sounds
not
like the-
towards the gate.
Sounds
but
like the Berkshire section?
Yeah, about an eighth of a mile up, in between that landscaped area, there is, it could be one of our old towers, maybe.
Is it,
out of
is it,
function.
is it green in color?
It's green.
Okay, that's an old, it's either an old AT&T pedestal or
Yeah.
a Comcast pedestal, both
Yeah.
of which are used. But if it's leaning over, I'll go take a
Thank
picture
you
of it.
very
and
much.
we'll try to figure it out.
David,
Where, oh,
Over
sorry, dear,
here.
yes.
we have guests waiting to, I think, talk to us, and a lot of people are leaving, so I think not to be rude to our guests that have made the time to come here, we should let them talk.
I think you're right. This meeting is, we haven't had a meeting in a long time, and yes, this meeting is going over long. So what I think we'll do is we'll have George, who I believe invited these guests, perhaps introduce them, and please, folks, briefly, all right? This meeting is way over time, okay? Go ahead, George. And thank you very much.
Thank you, David. First, I'd like to have, we have from 2 different departments in the county, from the Port of Palm Beach Commission, Commissioner Catherine Waldron. Catherine, would you like to say a couple of words? Either one.
Thank you very much. It's great to be back here after being gone for so long. I'm here to give you a kind of a quick update on the port. My name's Catherine Waldron. I'm a port commissioner, one of 5. And as we all know, the world kind of came to a stop last March, so that kind of stopped the port, and including the cruise ship, which has not been allowed to cruise since last March. I know some of you have taken the cruise. The good news is it looks like there was a meeting with the CDC, and it looks like July 16th, our cruise ship will have its first paying legitimate cruise going out then. So crossing our fingers that the CDC doesn't change their mind. The one issue that needs to be resolved is that our cruise ship, Bahamas Paradise Cruise, is saying that they want to only allow people who've been fully vaccinated onto the cruise ship, which would imply you need to show proof of vaccination, which our governor has said is not allowed. So that is an issue that still needs to be determined, but you can understand why they only want to do that, allow people vaccinated. The other thing is, as you know, our port is a predominantly export port. We export to the Caribbean. So when the pandemic hit, almost overnight in March, the Caribbean islands shut down their tourist industry. Hotels, resorts were completely closed. Hundreds of thousands of people were laid off, which of course impacted the demand for products. So our largest tenant was Tropical, and they said they showed about a 40% drop in revenue last year. The good news is that's picking back up, and it's coming back up pretty fast because there's been pent-up demand, of course, and now the Caribbean islands are starting to start up again. A little bit more slowly than here, but they're starting back up. And there is a big demand of people who want to kind of get out of their houses and travel. So that's the good news. We were in a very financially strong position because we had several $millions, the port did, in revenue. So we were able, in reserves. So we were able to kind of withstand the port without much impact to us. And we didn't lay anybody off either. So that's the 2-minute thing. I just also want to let you know we'll be back later this year because I've filed to run for the state rep seat here, that Matt Wilhite is going to be leaving soon. So I'll be talking more about that later. But thank you very much, and it's great to be back. Thanks.
Thank you, Catherine. Next, I can't pronounce her last name. And the people are from the Ann Gannon's office. Those of you that remember Amy, I believe she had another child, and so she's on maternity leave. And we have Beth and Jeff, and I'll let them tell you their last names because I can't pronounce them. Right. Come on up here. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you, everyone, for inviting us this morning. My name is Beth Machenbacher, 14 letters long. I'm from Tax Collector Ann M. Gannon's office. We're serving Palm Beach County, as you know. I'm a community engagement ambassador, and hopefully we'll see you out at other events like this in the future. We handed out some informational packets. I just wanted to highlight our tax planner and services guide. It'll take you through the entire course of the year with lots of helpful reminders of everything we offer, a lot of which is available to you online. And I just wanted to highlight, if you do need to come visit us, we are by appointment only right now, so just make your appointment online a few weeks in advance because appointments book up pretty quickly. And this is Jeff Bartolome. He's our Chief Communications Officer, and we're here to answer any questions you might have as well. And you can always reach us online. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Jeff, did you want to say anything? No? Okay. Next guest is Mike Pratt from Dorothy Jack's office, the property appraiser's office now. So we get the tax collector and the appraiser's office. Mike, take it.
Okay, thank you very much, George. Great to be back again. Want to first give my regards to everybody that we are so glad to see you all here. And one of the things that this is showing us is that the property appraiser's office has outreach that should be starting up again next month. Today's the first Friday of the month. We're on the first Thursday of the month at 1:30 in the afternoon. We're in the lobby, and we take homestead exemption applications in person and answer valuation questions. And with that in mind, our office is just finishing up in May. The end of this month, we'll be turning over our valuations to all the taxing bodies. You know, the tax bills that people get are based on two things: the value that the property appraisers makes and the millage rate that is given by the various taxing bodies. And those taxing bodies will have the values coming up at the end of May. And then in August of each year, about the third week in August, every taxpayer receives a TRIM notice, a truth and millage notice that comes from the Palm Beach County property appraiser, Dorothy Jacks. And when that comes, it says, "This is not a bill, do not pay, but don't throw it away." Okay, a lot of people just chuck it. But the important part about that is it gives you the value and all the possible taxes that you may be paying from what they're learning from the budgetary meetings going on at that time. And another thing that's important, every taxpayer, when they get that notice, they have approximately a 25-day period to file a petition against the value if you feel it's too high, or you want to petition your taxes. That's not what you're going to win on, because that is not going to work. But the valuation is what the property appraiser does. And so I hope to see you all next month. Or we'll have somebody here in the lobby, and you'll be able to file homestead exemption for any individuals that may be coming in. And everybody just seems to all be moving here, David, from everywhere. Okay? Again, my name is Mike Pratt. We'll see you next month, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. David, back to you.
Oh, no more guests?
No more.
All right, thank you. I think we'll drop into good and welfare. As I said, this meeting has really gone quite lengthy. Is there anything important
David, right.
for good and welfare? Go ahead, George.
Okay, first off, those of you that know, they should be out there. 10 o'clock, they're supposed to start. The Operation Pill Drop.
Pill drop.
Okay, those of you that have your pills with you, when you go out there, just go up and see them. There's a table set up for them. Hopefully they're there. Okay, and we'll get rid of those pills that we had to save for 10 years. The second thing is, I ask you very sincerely, please, like the lieutenant said, if you see something, say something, call. I promise if you want your information kept confidential, it will be kept confidential. But it's very important that we get rid of some of these people that are in this village that don't belong here. And a lot of people know a lot of things. If even something that you don't think is important, talk to me. I'm not going to scream at you, eat your head off. Let me know. I'll make a decision, and I'll talk to the lieutenant about it, and we'll see what we can do. Just remember, the last person that they got, between the time I got the information, I had 5 different people giving me information. As soon as we got that, within 3 hours of me getting the information, getting it to the lieutenant, like he said, an arrest was made, 3 hours. Now, you can't get any faster than that, all right? But please, we need your help, and I beg you for that, okay? Oh, give me my 5th heart attack, Sadie.
Can you turn off your phone, please?
That was a motion.
So anybody have any questions on any of this? Oh, and by the way, people are putting cameras up, and that's how these car burglars were got. And there is what I call a jump out team that's working there, that works the area. And we got to catch these people, so please. Any questions? Anybody have anything they'd like to ask? Oh, Patricia. Oh, you're very welcome. Anybody else? No? Oh, okay. Come on up.
We recently had a situation where security contacted a president or a former president of the association. A resident was called security, and security contacted a president from 4 years ago. We have provided current lists of the offices of our building to UCO, and we would just like to request that security be provided the current information. We were lucky enough in this situation that the former president from 4 years ago knew who the current president was and gave security the telephone number.
All right, what association is this?
Oxford 400.
Okay, so we'll plug Daniel into that, and we'll see
And
what's
if you need
going
a
on.
new I know that you have a current list because.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Anybody else?
All right, George.
I think this gentleman, no?
George, enough now, okay?
Okay.
Let's let Dan talk.
Yeah.
Dan?
No, just quickly. No, not a question. If anybody is changing his bylaws, any association, I just want to give you an advice. We change our bylaws with a lawyer, and the results that we got, that I had to go 8.5 pages of mistakes, corrections, and additions. So just be aware when you get the new ones, please read the bylaw, the new one, the proposed bylaws, because the lawyer doesn't always know what you actually need or want. So this is a suggestion because we've been through this already. 8.5 pages of corrections. Thank you.
Yeah, please don't play lawyer. Oh, I hear a motion to adjourn. All right. I believe we are adjourned. Thank you.
As you're leaving, if you're considering re-roofing your building, get it done before the 1st of July because we're going to have a heck of a storm season.
Oh.